17 and I'm a junior.
I'm Ava, I'm 17 and I'm also a junior.
I'm Ria, I'm also 17, but I'm a senior.
I'm Sophia, I'm also 17 and I'm a senior.
I'm Abby, I'm 17 and I'm a senior.
Growing up, I didn't really think they were that strict. They definitely had boundaries, and like if we crossed the line, like we would get punished or like stuff taken away. But like it was like I never got grounded. My sisters have though, so like I guess it just I feel like they were fine parents.
I feel like growing up, I did think they were strict just because I was like younger. I really didn't have anything else to like base it off of. Like I couldn't see how other people's parents were. If I like wanted to go somewhere and they're like, oh, it's really late, can't go, I would be like, wow, you're so strict. Like that was my idea of strict.
I have always thought that my parents were strict, just like seeing how their expectations and like the things that they want me to do, it's always been different and like more restricted than a lot of my friends.
I feel like my parents growing up were like more strict than now. I feel like kind of similar with Taylor, like they had like expectations. And like we would, like if we didn't like behave, like we would get like punished. But I think I probably thought they were stricter than they actually were, but
I feel like my parents were like strict about certain stuff, like technology, social media, but like not as strict about other stuff. I feel like they've gotten more strict as I've grown up and like started actually going out.
Now, do you feel like when you want to go out, do you ask your parents or do you more tell them what you're doing?
I have to ask them.
I guess it's kind of mixed. Like if I say like, hey, I'm going somewhere, they'll be like, okay, which I feel like is kind of ask enough, like because I'm telling them where I'm going. But yeah.
Until pretty much like junior year, I had to ask them like if I wanted to go anywhere. Now I'm a senior and it doesn't like grades don't really matter as much because like I'm into college and all that. So now like whenever I want to go anywhere, I just tell them, and it's not really an ask, and they don't really care anymore. So.
I feel like it also is kind of mixed. I think before I got my license, I had to ask, but that was more because like I needed a ride somewhere. Like, but since I got my license, I'm more just like I let them know. Unless I'm like if I'm going somewhere like really far, sometimes I'll ask. But it's more just like I just like tell them where I'm going.
I make plans and then ask them.
What age were you allowed to have a phone, and were there any rules about it?
Well, I got an iPad really early on to like watch Dora on like 4 years old, but I got my first like phone in 5th grade. At first it didn't have any like phone number on it, or like so I couldn't call anyone, like which is kind of a concern. I couldn't call them, but
Yeah, I'm the same with Taylor. I think I got an iPad when I was really younger, but it was like games, like iPad games. I couldn't like text or like social media. They really didn't want me to be like active on social media, so like TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat too. Like I wasn't really allowed to have, but I got a phone in like 6th grade, I think, and then I like downloaded those apps in like 7th grade. So.
I also had an iPad when I was younger, but it was shared between me and my 2 sisters, and then I didn't actually get a phone until COVID started, because then I wasn't seeing any of my friends anyway, and they were like we still want you to stay connected, so they got me a phone, but it didn't have a phone number, so it only worked when it was on Wi-Fi.
I mean, I had like an iPad and tablets like when I was like younger. I don't know exactly what age, but like probably like around 5ish. And then in like elementary school, like probably like 3rd to like 5th grade, I think I used like one of my parents' old phones, but it was mostly like games, and then also like I could contact like them, but only them. And then when I turned, I think like 11 or 12, I got an actual phone. Like the only thing they really cared about was like they didn't really want me on Snapchat, so I only ever got Snapchat until I was in like 8th grade maybe. I think I got the phone at like 12.
I got an iPod like 5th grade or something. I never had like an iPad or anything. And I got like a phone in like 6th grade, but my parents were always really strict about social media, so that's
Do your guys' parents have your location, and do they actually check it?
Yeah, my mom literally texts me like whenever I'm out anywhere, she's like, why are you at Taco Bell? She tracks me like all the time.
My mom and my sisters all have my location. She doesn't really check it too often unless I'm like out late, then she checks it. But like if I'm supposed to be at school, it's not like she's gonna doubt that I'm somewhere else or I'm at practice or at a game or whatever.
I share location with my brother, so we share our location, but my mom, like if she wants to know where I am, like I can just send the location. I don't know, she doesn't really check it unless like I'm like, it's like 1 a.m. and I'm not home. Then she would like text me and say, hey, come on.
My whole family has my location, but my dad doesn't like he has it, but I don't think he knows how to use it. So, I mean, he doesn't really check. Sometimes, like my mom will text me and like ask where I am, and then like just double check with the Life 360. So honestly, I don't really know why they have it if they don't use it.
My parents, I mean my whole family, we all share a location by my iPhone, but they don't check it at all. I think it's more like there for like emergency purposes. Like I think they forget it's there, honestly.
Do they have like any expectations about taking like AP classes, or like did you have to do like Kumon or stuff like that when you were younger? There's anything about school, yeah.
Yes, I did. I did Kumon when I was younger, and I also did this online extra math, I guess, and I like kind of got ahead in math. And then I've always had to take like as many like APs and as I could possibly, I guess.
Like your parents wanted you to do it?
Like it wasn't an option for me. Like I had to take as many APs as I could. And they've always been like very strict about grades. Like
When I was younger, my parents used to make me do like iExcel online
oh yeah,
to just kind of like help like, and I think they were like they were pretty strict about my grades in like middle school. Now in like high school, they like encourage me to take AP classes, but it's like never like really like required. Like they kind of just like, oh, I think it would be good if you take this class. If I have like D's and F's in the class, like okay, yeah, they care, but like if I have like A's, B's, or C's, they're kind of like, it's fine.
I had an IEP when I was younger, so with my grades I have to have like A's or B's. And with the B's they're like annoyed, like it's not good enough, but like they're not as strict as like Ria's parents about it. But with APs and honors, they're also like, you need to take at least one, but like when I take too many, they get mad because of like my IEP.
My dad, he really doesn't like care at all. Like he just wants me to do what like I guess makes me happy. My mom is kind of a little different. She pushes me to like do well in school. She wants to like, right now I'm in like 4 AP classes, and that's mostly because like she wanted me to take them. No, I usually get like B's and A's, like I don't fail classes or anything, so she's not like super worried about it.
I think similar to Sophia's parents, they don't force me to do anything, and they know like I have a busy schedule, and so whatever classes I feel I can take and will challenge me enough that I can still get a B or an A in, I think they're like completely fine with. They were in high school, they never really were great at high school, so they understand like all of the pressures and whatever, and so they just want me to be the best I can be and like better than them in a way.
Okay, I am Ria.
I'm over here.
So that's my Abby.
I feel like yours.
A was on the end. A will get on the end.
Well, okay, Ria's definitely like the most.
I feel like it's
strict.
between you and me.
I think
I don't know.
I would think your parents are stricter.
I think Abby's in the middle, and then Taylor's like here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because
like this.
yeah.
I feel like our parents
like-
are just strict about different stuff.
That's true. It's like if we could overlap.
Yeah,
it would
can
be
we like
good.
one person?
And I think, I also think like the grades thing, like, cause like your parents, like they still have like standards for what classes and stuff you want to take, but your parents don't want to do that.
That's true.
I think me and Sophia are kind of the same.
I feel like we're pretty similar.
Yeah, I
my
know.
parents just like don't really.
I mean, like, I feel like they kind of know that I'm like, we're like all young, kind of. So it's like, they want me to like have fun, if that makes sense. So
That's like the same thing with my parents, because they're like, I think especially because like my mom grew up in more of a stricter household, and then like my dad too. Like, so I feel like they kind of want me to like have more of like a good experience. So they like obviously like they're not gonna let me do something that's like unsafe, but
Yeah.
like if I want to like. They don't really say like no to like a lot.
yeah,
of
I
things.
mean,
Like, it takes a lot for them to say no.
it would have to be something something really outrageous
Yeah.
for them to be like, hey, you're not allowed to do that.
Exactly.
But both of my parents are like immigrants. Like my mom's household was really strict.
My dad's family was really, really strict, and I mean, he's one of 3 boys, so like they had to be really strict. Like dietary wise, like they didn't really have any like candy, sugar, or whatever. And so my dad tries to be like, oh, like sure, indulge in it, like have a great time. My mom, her mom was like a teen mom, and so like she kind of grew up in like a different environment than like my dad did.
My dad, he didn't grow up in like a very wealthy family and everything, so he has like expectations for us. And then my mom, her dad and stepdad were in the military, so they were never around, and her mom like didn't really like, wasn't really around either.
I mean, both of my parents grew up in very strict households, and I think that's they both just have passed that on with the way that they run our house. So they definitely talk a lot about how like me and my sisters have a lot of opportunities that they didn't have because my dad is an immigrant and my mom is first generation, so or like her parents are first generation. I got a 63, which is in the strict category. Like for most of this stuff about like academics and like social like opinions and expectations, I put like always because they always are like involved with that. Like, I've never had like an actual curfew, but I feel like it's just like implied. Like they don't want me out like past midnight probably. So
I got a 36, which is in the structured.
Big jump.
Yeah, a very big jump. Being out late. Like my parents are like, I have to be home by like 11, and then the tracking, the like 360. My mom tracks me every minute of every single day.
I got a 38, so a little bit higher than Abby's. So my parents are structured, and I do have limits on like driving. I can't really drive far distances without checking with them first, or like, especially like at the beginning of my driving, I couldn't drive anyone without telling them first. So that was where it went up.
Okay, so I got a 13, which is really low, and it's in the relaxed category, which I feel like kind of makes sense because I feel like my parents trust me a lot, especially like when it comes to like making my own decisions and stuff. Like they're there, like if I need support and like need help, they're there for me, but like they trust me to like make my own decisions, and like a curfew they don't really care about. Like
I got 27, which is moderate. Like it really just depends on like the day or like how they're feeling. I do have a curfew and it's technically 1, but I've come after that curfew. I mean, like I don't mean to come before, but like if something happens and I feel like I'm gonna stay a little later, like I won't tell them, I just will, and then like they'll be like, oh, what time did you come home last night? I'll be like, around 1.
Okay, so now can you guys rearrange in the order of the quiz? Perfect.
13, like shocked.
Yeah,
If you see my face, I went.
the only thing that I put that wasn't like never or rarely was like the thing about like my parents, like they care a bit about how I dress. Like they don't
Yeah.
like I can wear whatever I want, but like obviously I try to wear like a bra outside.
Yeah.
They don't, like, what are you
That's
doing?
the
Like
same
they trust you.
And like the thing is, like the only other thing is like this, like they make me do chores, and then there's like the family stuff. Like, oh, I'd rather you stay and like hang out with us.
Yeah.
But like they don't
Same.
force me if I really want to go to.
Like right now there's a party at my house for me and I'm not at it. And like I feel like my parents would like me to be there, but you just have to like keep pushing a little bit. And they're like, oh, come home. You're like, yeah, 30 minutes, and then 30 minutes goes by and you're like, oh, 30 minutes, like stuff like that.
Was it uncomfortable at all to discuss how your parents parent you?
Not really, because I mean I feel like it's like a known thing.
No, it wasn't. I was okay with it.
No, not really.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Would you want to have a similar parenting style when you have your own kids?
I think so. I turned out okay.
Yeah, I think the way they parented was like good for me.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like I wouldn't do anything like super different from my parents. Like I would keep the same way?
Yeah, I think I'll be like a little bit more strict about certain things and less strict about other things, but yeah. So.
I think I would want to keep like the academic standards and stuff, but I would be a little more lenient on like the going out because I do tend to like lie to my parents a lot about where I am, and I don't want, like, if I have kids, I don't want them to be comfortable with lying to me, so